Poster dunks are probably some of the most exciting highlights you can see from the NBA. Besides, it's one of the most hyped up and disrespectful plays in the entire sport. It's only right that we look at the 10 most brutal poster dunks in NBA history. Just a heads up, we only focus on straight up dunks, instead of alley-oops to narrow the dunks down. Taking the number 10 spot, we have Tracy McGrady over Shawn Bradley. Tracy McGrady was a highlight waiting to happen in his prime. Out of all the crazy dunks he has thrown down, the most violent poster must be the one during the 2005 playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks. Also, there's just something about 7-footers that add to the wow factor when they get dunked on. That's exactly what happened when Shawn Bradley was a step too late, even if he tried to get out of the way at the very last second. Unfortunately, he ended up in the frame of a poster that you can hang up in your room. At number 9, we have Michael Jordan over Patrick Ewing. I'm sure you could have guessed it, but we couldn't make a top 10 poster dunk list and not have the GOAT placed on it. Besides, he clearly has the highlight reel to at least feature one dunk on our list. Out of all of them, one of his most impressive dunks was probably during the 1992 playoffs against the New York Knicks. Only because the legendary 7-footer Patrick Ewing was on the receiving end, as he was known as one of the greatest shot blockers in the league. Michael Jordan faked out John Starks, pulled a nice spin to the baseline, and then proceeded to devour Ewing. It was just a thing of beauty to watch. Holding the 8th spot, we have LeBron James dunking over Damon Jones. LeBron James on this list should be no surprise to anyone. Even in his 18th season, we've seen him throw down posters on the likes of Nemanja Bjelic and Jusuf Nurkic. However, his best dunks were during his most athletic days in his first stint with the Cavs. Damon Jones was simply demoralized after he got dunked on this particular occasion. James couldn't do anything else but smile after realizing what he just did. At number 7, we have the late Kobe Bryant over Ben Wallace. Bryant was truly an artist on the basketball court. From the killer crossovers at the arc all the way to the rim for the poster, the Black Mamba just knew how to put on a show. Unfortunately, he decided to use Ben Wallace as the canvas in this specific masterpiece. Wallace fell to the floor, the bench went nuts, and the crowd erupted. It couldn't get any better than that. It was truly a sight to see. The next most brutal poster dunk in NBA history is Vince Carter over Alonzo Mourning. It's not up for debate. There's no way that Vince Carter wouldn't make the list. The only question that matters is which dunk should be considered. Out of the countless amounts of dunks throughout his career, Air Canada threw down the absolute best on Alonzo Mourning's head when the Nets went up against the Heat. To make things worse, Mourning tried to block the dunk, and then the rest was history. We're down to number 5 on our most brutal poster dunks in NBA history. Be sure to hit that like button for more quality content. And now at the 5th spot, we have Blake Griffin dunking over Pau Gasol not once, but twice. Let's be honest, you sort of have to sympathize for Pau Gasol on this one. Blake Griffin is known for a lot of exciting and explosive dunks early in his career. Griffin was a walking highlight when he was part of the Lob City era in LA. In this case, Griffin showed no mercy and slammed it down on Gasol's head twice in the same game. In addition, these weren't some ordinary dunks either. These dunks were so bad that his own teammates were in disbelief. At number 4, we have Dwayne Wade dunking over Anderson Varejao. If you didn't like this dunk, you don't like basketball, as Dwayne Wade threw down one of the most vicious posters in NBA history and caught a body named Anderson Varejao. Every part of this play was just phenomenal. You had the exciting fast break, the vicious dunk, the foul, the center hitting the deck, and on top of all that, you had the step over. For the third dunk, we have Big Aristotle himself, Shaquille O'Neal dunking on Chris Dudley. Shaq was a different kind of animal. Truthfully, he was so mean that Chris Dudley got pissed and threw the ball at Shaq when he was running back down on defense. With that being said, this epic dunk epitomized Shaq's career as a dominant big man in the NBA. The typical post-up and drop-step move that he proved to be unstoppable and propelled his career to great heights. And for that, he is more than deserving to land a top 3 spot on our list. At number 2, we have Scottie Pippen dunking over Patrick Ewing. Unfortunately, Patrick Ewing made it twice on the list, and it wasn't for a good reason. Ewing didn't throw down dunks on his own, but he was on the receiving end thanks to Michael Jordan and his teammate Scottie Pippen. In the 1994 playoffs, Pippen completely disrespected Ewing when he caught his body with a vicious one-hander. And as always, Ewing tried to go up for the block once again. Pippen finished the playoff disrespectfully, standing over Ewan for a few seconds to rub it in. In this list, taunting is definitely encouraged. And for the final dunk on our list, we have Shawn Kemp dunking over Alton Lister. Shawn Kemp might not be the biggest star, especially compared to the other household names on this list, but he definitely had the most brutal poster of them all. Taking a charge is normally a heroic act, being that players risk taking contact in hope of drawing an offensive foul. Well, unfortunately, this doesn't always work out. When the Supersonics went up against the Golden State Warriors in the 1992 playoffs, Kemp was running full steam to the goal when Alton Lister got into position to take a charge. What happened after that should be considered illegal. Let us know down in the comments which one of these dunks was most impressive to you. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel for more.